It's been a while since I last posted a video, so I thought it was high time I showed my face. I promise to create more videos in the future, you know how busy we all get during the wedding season. So in today's video, I'm going to look at my potential decision to move from my beloved A9 bodies to Sony A7IV bodies. Now you've heard me in the past videos saying the best camera is the one you have. Don't waste your money buying gear if it's a want instead of a need, and that I would only upgrade if it was a need, and I think I've reached that point. So at the start of 2023, I started to explore the idea of offering hybrid coverage, i.e. photo and video, at the same time. I did one wedding in 2023 where I tested this to see if I liked it. Did it prove to be difficult? Did it detract from the photography? I did like it. It wasn't difficult. If anything, I took too many video clips, and it certainly didn't detract from the photos. Again, if anything, it added to the overall package of that wedding. We're now starting 2024, and as soon as New Year's Day rolled around, I spent around 10 days building a brand new website. Go check it out, raysoya.co.uk, revamping my collection offerings, pricing, updating all my imagery in terms of what I would use as a marketing pool for 2024. And as part of the new collections, I'm now offering, officially, highlight films. Some of my current 2024 couples have already booked this as an add-on already at discounted rates, and pretty much I'll be using 2024 to get much better at video. So 2025 comes around, I can hit the ground running with awesome videos. So for me, there's a number of reasons to offer highlight films, and I'll let you know why I was on the fence for a little while. My number one reason for being on the fence, it's video and not photo. There's videographers for that, right? There is, but is that a good enough reason to not offer video? If videographers are upset with photographers offering highlight films, it's nothing personal, it's a business decision. And unfortunately, I can only see this growing in the future. I'll give it 3 years, let's say 3 years, before 60% of all photographers are offering both photo and video hybrid coverage. If you haven't thought of offering video yet, I'd start learning or risk getting left behind. Also, for any videographers still sour about it, there's nothing to stop you from learning photography. Just like us, learning video. You gotta do what you gotta do. The pros for doing video at weddings far outweigh the one con for not offering it. We all work with videographers and we all get on. I have videographers who I would call friends, but they alter the way you work a little in terms of they take up space where you want to be. They position multiple cameras either side of the top table, for example, for speeches. So instantly, I kind of go in front of the top table to get super close 35mm photos like I usually would. So my first big reason is to just not have to deal with the extra body, the extra gear, the splitting of the couple's time, etc. I'd be the only professional on site. It's an easy upsell for you as a business to make money from the same client. If the client is on the fence about hiring videographers, this is a great alternative, as long as the couple know it's a highlight film and not a full recording of the speeches and the ceremony, then it's pretty much fine. If they do want the full recordings, I'm still happy to recommend videographers for that, and so should you. The world we live in is increasingly video-centric. You only have to look at Instagram, and unless you're posting reels, your reach is in the toilet. If you're recording video at every wedding, you have so much marketing material, it's insane. I already have ideas for 30-second preview teaser reels on my Instagram 2 days after the wedding, along with carousel teasers. It's a no-brainer from my perspective for marketing your own business. It's a new challenge. Without sounding big-headed, I've got pretty good at photography, and a lot of the time it can feel like I'm on autopilot, which is a good thing, as it means I'm super confident, nothing can faze me, I can handle any situation, but it can lead to a lack of creativity. So adding video is something new to tackle, something new to embrace, learn, develop, and ultimately conquer. So what does all that have to do with potentially swapping my A9 bodies for A7IV bodies? Well, A9 is amazing, and it's been my main camera bodies for years, and I love it, but it is for photo. There was always a few wishlist things I wish it had, like a few more megapixels, as I do like the crop and straighten images for the best composition. I wish it had better rear screen resolutions. I'll be waiting until I'm 90 for Sony to give me that. I wish it had anti-flicker, don't get me started. How they can have a feature like anti-flicker in an A7 III, but can it in an A9, boggles my mind. I touch on that as the A9 is a stacked sensor which eliminates banding, but it doesn't stop exposure changes and burst photos near artificial lights. I've shot LED curtains before on 10 frames per second, and you can play it back and watch the lights move along the curtain. It's such an easy thing to add through firmware. Come on, Sony. That's a few things I wish it had, but the main thing as I move to hybrid coverage over all those points is I wish it had better video. It's a true drawback. hence the move to the A7IV bodies. As a quick comparison on the used market, but in excellent condition, you can pick up an A9 for around £1,500 and an A7IV for £1,750, which is what I'll do. The A7IV wins out on the megapixels with 33 to the A9's 24. The A7IV has the new body ergonomics, new menus and better touch capabilities. It has the better autofocus with more face detect points, and also the wizardry inside just makes it insane. Both cameras have the exact same viewfinder, so that's a non-issue, and both have similar rear screens, with the A9 as a tilt screen and the A7IV is fully articulating. I mean, I prefer the A9 flip screen. The A9 will do 20 frames per second and the A7IV will do 10. I only use 5 pretty much at all weddings, so this is a non-issue. The A7IV weighs in about 70 grams more, but I'm not exactly a weed. I think I'll manage. I touched on anti-flicker before. The A7IV does have this, and I want it. The A7IV can shoot silent, but I wouldn't trust it like the A9, so likely going back to hearing the shutter noise again if I move to the A7IV. Bummer, the biggest drawback. The biggest thing on the A7IV is the video capabilities, with the 4K 30 and the 4K 60. Yes, I know it's cropped, and I can shoot video at 42210-bit in S-Log3. So, to summarise, as a sacrifice in gains from moving from the A9 to the A7IV, I sacrificed silent shooting, which I love, and the flip screen. That's it really, if I'm honest. The pros and gains vastly outweigh the sacrifices. I gain more megapixels, going from 6,000 pixels on the long edge to say 7,000 pixels on the long edge photos. A decent 9 megapixel upgrade. Better ergonomics, better menus, better touchabilities, better video, better autofocus, bigger buttons, better storage and 2 UHS 2 card slots. One being a CF Express, meaning the buffering is greatly reduced. There's a lot to like. It's pretty easy to see that the A7IV is the better camera going forward. So it's a need. I want to offer video to my couples, so I need a camera with video-centric features, and the A9 just doesn't cut it. Now, I want to speak about my inner voice, and we all have this. Is this the right move? What if it does affect my photography? What if not being able to shoot silent stops me getting the same shots I used to? I do have these niggling doubts, but I think it would be weird not to. In life, I always feel the fear and do it anyway. Staying in your comfort zone, your own little sandbox, you're not going to grow and break boundaries. So here I am, breaking through, and I know I'll succeed, even with the initial doubts. Anyway, that's my reasoning for switching to A7IVs, which I likely do in the spring. Have you got an A7IV? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Drop me some tips. I love to respond to you guys also. I used to have 15,000 followers on Instagram and I had to start a new account last year, so I'd love it if you can give me a follow. I'd be eternally grateful. So head over to Instagram, it's @RaySawyerPhoto, link in the description. Toodaloos.